If you're here for plain old rice, oops, wrong channel. So, we're not making plain old rice. We're not even making your standard fried rice or nasi goreng. We are making Nasi Tomato from Singapore, Malaysia, also found in Indonesia. Another gloriously aromatic rice from my childhood. Now, don't let the name fool you. This isn't just rice that's bumped into a can of tomatoes. This is fluffy, long Basmati rice, simmered in a tomato base with spices and a touch of evaporated milk and ghee. It's bold, it's beautiful, and it's the dish that shows up to weddings and tandoori's in full glam with heels on. Whether you grew up eating it or this is all new to you, stick around. You're going to love this recipe, because by the end of this video, you're going to have a rice dish that you're going to be cooking again and again. You'll know how to serve it, you'll know how to store it if it doesn't all disappear in one sitting. Let's get to it. So here's a snapshot of our ingredients to make Nasi Tomato, or tomato rice in English. I'll give you the full list of ingredients below this video, or if you want the full written recipe, it's on my blog, SMR. So the first thing we do is chop up our aromatics, or onion, ginger, garlic. You can do this in a food chopper, which will give you a smooth finish, or do it by hand and chop it finely. So grind it all until you have this smooth paste. Heat the ghee on medium and fry your whole spices for 30 seconds. Then we add our chopped up aromatics, onion, garlic, ginger. Toss in our lemongrass, our bruised lemongrass, and our turmeric. Fry it all up for a good 7 to 10 minutes until you get a beautiful aroma. We then add our concentrated tomato paste and our tomato ketchup, plus our sugar and our salt. Give it a quick mix, and then we tip in our rice. Once again, give it a good mix just to toast the rice slightly, as well as to let it absorb that tomatoey flavor. And then we pour in our water, evaporated milk, give it all a really good stir. Remember our pandan leaves? Tie the 2 leaves into a knot, drop it into our saucepan, give it a stir, and bring everything to a simmer. Once it's simmering, cover and cook for 25 minutes until the rice is completely done. I tend to use a damkoni when cooking rice to absorb excess moisture. It's also known as a rice bonnet. This is how you can make it with just a simple tea towel. Ensure that all pieces are safely tucked away so that they don't catch fire. So there you go. Place it onto your pot and it'll absorb excess moisture so your rice isn't too soggy. When your Nasi Tomato has had the 25 minutes, take it off the heat, let it rest for 5 minutes, and then fluff it up. Now, many people will add raisins and cashew nuts while cooking the rice itself, but my kids don't like bits in their rice. So I finish the rice with a scattering of raisins and cashew nuts. So once you're done, once the rice is cooked, we lose the pandan leaves, and we're going to dish this up. Now, your spices, your whole spices, and your lemongrass is still in there. So this is up to you as you are dishing it up, if you want to lose your spices or you want to keep them and just arrange them on the top of your rice to make it look pretty. Now, because of the evaporated milk and the sugar in your tomatoes and the touch of sugar we added. Some of the rice is going to catch at the bottom and even the sides. If you are familiar with my Persian recipes, you'll know that the crispy bits at the bottom of the rice is prized in Persian culture. So enjoy it. I personally love crispy bits in rice. I like to top my finished rice with our nuts and our raisins. Now, what I'm also going to do is take a leaf out of my Persian recipes and saute or toast our nuts and raisins in a touch of ghee. Now, I only used a little bit of ghee, half a teaspoon, maybe at most. Once that's hot, drop your raisins first. I'm going to do it all together. I'm not going to bother doing them individually, but the raisins are going to want a little bit more time. So we're just going to toast the raisins to fluff them up, but also to wake up their flavor, their sweetness, the natural sweetness. The sugar in the raisins get a little caramelized with the toasting in the ghee. We're not using much ghee. Not a fan of ghee, then skip the ghee altogether, both in cooking the rice and now, and just use vegetable oil. So when the raisins have had about, say, 30 seconds, add our cashew nuts in there. So once that's done, all you do is just scatter your nuts and raisins over. That's it. And then some crispy fried shallots. These are easily bought in shops. If you want a recipe on how to make them, it's on Lynn's Food. I'll put the link on there as well as below the video. So, a scattering of crispy shallots to finish it all off. And if you want, you can also finish it off with some fresh coriander leaves, chopped fresh coriander leaves. That's cilantro in American speak. So there you go, Nasi Tomato. How do you serve it? Traditionally, it's served with ayam masak merah, written recipe up there on SMR, Singaporean Malaysian recipes. Ayam masak merah is basically a red chicken curry that's not spicy. It has a tomato base. It's often served with ayam masak merah and some achar. Achar is pickle recipe. I believe I have a simple achar recipe, a basic achar recipe that was always around when I was growing up. Video is just there. So these are the usual accompaniments. But to me, ayam masak merah, in terms of the base flavor, that whole tomato flavor, is pretty similar to your nasi tomato. So I prefer serving my nasi tomato with, say, chicken korma or ayam korma or ayam limau purut or chicken rendang, beef rendang. Really, any other curry, any curry, even ayam masak merah is fabulous with this. And you can serve it with achar, you can serve it with just a fresh green salad with some tomatoes, with some cucumbers. So, taste test, right? This is so good. It's aromatic. It has a touch of sweetness about it. Despite the amount of tomato paste and tomato ketchup we used in this recipe, it's not overly tomatoey. Everything blends together. It has just the right amount of salt. When you taste it, you may find that, okay, you need a little bit more salt. But don't forget, this rice is served with a curry. A quick piece of advice. Every rice is different. I used basmati rice here. To soak or not to soak your basmati rice? That's a question I get all the time from my students as well as my readers and my friends. The most common complaint is that their rice falls apart. I'll tell you why. Most basmati rice that we buy from our regular shops, from our supermarkets that don't cost too much or perhaps are moderately priced, don't need soaking. Really. The texture, the integrity of the rice grain cannot stand up to soaking. If you must soak it, no more than 30 minutes. Basmati rice that's been well and truly aged, that is so strong in its aroma or smell, as my kids will say, that Basmati rice wants a proper soak 1 hour, 2 hours before you actually use it in a recipe. That will stand up to cooking and will not fall apart. There you go, nasi tomato. Serve it however you like, as I described, or eat it straight from the pot. No judgment from me. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, subscribe, tap the bell so you know when I've got a new recipe. And hey, if you give this a try, let me know what you think, brag about it in the comments, or tell me how you made it different or how you served it. Thanks for watching. Look out for my next recipe, either from the Middle East or Singapore and Malaysia. I shall see you guys real soon.